It's not every day you have to replace a water heater, more like every 10 years. The Home Depot can help with a wide selection of the latest models from Rheem and a helpful online water heater buying guide to help make choosing the right Rheem easy. From gas to electric, tankless, even smart models that can spot a leak before it happens. Water heaters have come a long way. You don't have to. Go to HomeDepot.com to find the latest Rheem water heaters and helpful answers and advice from our water heater buying guide. Only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hello and welcome to the Perez Show, where we talk about news, politics, and random stuff. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe. Thank you, and let's get to it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah, that term, like boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of cringy to me, so I'm just going to go with fellow subordinates. Nah, you don't work for me. Whatever. Listeners, got it. All right, I'm Noah Perez. I am the host of SHN and this new podcast, The Perez Show. Basically, the idea of me creating this was I had my other podcast, SHN, you may know or not know, where I just talked about like science and history as it's SHN, Science, History, and Noah. But I kind of sometimes got into politics, and that's not what that podcast is about. So I created this one where I live broadcast on usually sometimes Friday evenings at like 7:30, or I don't do live episodes, but I publish every Tuesday if I can. Sometimes I can't. I do my best. Anyways, that's my schedule. Pretty simple. Same thing as SHN, except SHN I did my live episodes on Saturday. Blah 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 blah. We're not talking about SHN. Anyways. So that's why I created this, and I'm more of a podcast host. Something I messed up with SHN that I'm trying to do here is talk from the heart and not be all scriptured. Like, still have a script, but not be so robot-like, and talk from the heart so I can really connect with y'all. So I'm going to try and do better to do that here, as almost as if I'm talking to you in person, you know? But I'm trying to do it in like a friendly way, not like a weird, creepy way. You get what I'm saying, hopefully. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so today I'm just talking about what this podcast is about. As you heard in my intro, I do news commentary, and my description says that I talk about politics, sometimes just random news or random stuff that's going on. If most of this stuff is things that adults can learn from, as it's from a kid. You might not want to hear it, but I think I could teach you just as much as any other teacher can, just like I did with SHN. So I think you should listen. But if you don't want to listen, then you don't have to. And it's not just directed towards kids. Kids can listen. Depending on my episodes, I usually won't do explicit content. I'll mark it if it has explicit content, so watch out for that. You won't see anything, but sometimes in the description of the episode I'll mark it, or I can visually mark it with an E next to it. I'm not one for explicit content, but I don't know. Sometimes I am, and I'll mark it before. And on my live streams, I never am explicit because I don't want to mess up my viewership or get demonetized, as that is a huge issue affecting our world right now. Oh, and there's something called the coronavirus. If you don't know what that is, it's basically something that completely messed up 2020. I might talk a lot about that because it's kind of big, like I just said, kind of messed up our country, so I might talk about that too. Also, I sometimes will have guests. Nobody you really know unless you somehow know all my friends, because usually my guests are just my friends. Who I like to talk with, because it's kind of run by kids, my podcast, but like I may talk about important things, like on SHN, I did some heavy topics that's more what the Perez Show is for, unless they relate to science or history, but that's really not, unless it's like history, World War II, but that's heavy, but I mean heavy, like big stuff that adults could learn from. Kids, it might not be meant for as much. That wouldn't be explicit, just it's not directed towards kids. Sometimes my episodes will be directed towards kids, sometimes it won't. It all depends on what the episode is about, and usually you'll be able to tell based on the title of it and the episode description. And I'll usually classify if I'm having it with a guest. My guests are just my friends. We come in and talk about that stuff. When I do my live streams, they sometimes can go up to 45 minutes. They're usually like 30 minutes long, unless it's a super long live stream. And I know with SHN, some of you, my viewers, are coming over here, my listeners. I'm not really doing much to celebrate the birthday yet, as it isn't like super huge. It's kind of huge, but it's not super huge. You get what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to do my best with this. And but I will try and do different marks on how I'm doing, and I will try and update and publish episodes frequently, excuse me. I had an issue with SHM where I came across like a huge, like, writing block, but a huge, like, talking block, like I didn't know what to do about with science and history. That's why I'm creating the Perez Show, so I always have something I can turn to. I will try and do 2 episodes, but SHN's been really hard lately. I love it and all, but it's been really hard, so that's why I created the Perez Show to help me out with that. And I hope y'all like the Perez Show too. So this episode, I'm just going to continue for another 5 minutes or so. It's going to be a short episode, 10 minutes or so. Keep saying or so. But basically, I'm just going to talk about what my podcast is about. I've already gotten into it within the last 5 minutes. Now I'm going to touch more on my schedule. I think I talked about that a few minutes ago, very briefly, just mentioned it, and I sped right through that. So I really want to kind of get into that for a minute or two. So basically, my schedule is going to kind of remain the same as SHN. So I do Tuesdays, and I did Tuesdays and Saturdays, because that evened up the week perfectly. But I kind of just like Tuesdays. I don't know. I just like that day. So I'll be posting episodes on Tuesdays and sometimes Fridays. Tuesdays, I'll do my best. I don't want to completely promise and say I'll post an episode every single Tuesday, because as I have school, as I am a kid, I have other stuff going on, and it gets hard, but I do my best to contribute to this, because this is something I really love, podcasting. So I'll do my best to post something every Tuesday, even if it's only 5 minutes long, but every Tuesday. And then on Fridays, most Fridays, I'll have a live episode at 7:30 for good 30, 45 minutes, something like that. 45 at the most. I usually don't go longer than that unless it's a special occasion. I'll make them into segments of like 2 45-minute each. Ones comes out to 90 minutes, an hour and a half. But I have to put them in 2 segments, as I can only record for 45 minutes live or straight. So that's basically the kind of footprint of it, the plan out for the Perez Show. So I think that's kind of the basics right there. Now I'm going to go into a little bit more of what I said briefly. Yeah, so that's right there, like I said, the basics, the main footprint, and the schedule. Now I'm going to talk about a little more in-depth, not super in-depth, kind of trying to keep this episode 10 minutes, very brief, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to try and talk about now, like, how I'm going to do... Sorry, I forgot, blanked out there for what I was going to say. Yeah, you heard me. Anyways, what I was going to talk about was where you can listen to me on. First of all, you can always listen on the Spreaker app, as I use Spreaker Studio. Spreaker, so basically speaker, but with an R in there, mixed in the jumbo there. And the cool thing about the Spreaker Studio is... not the Spreaker Studio, excuse me. With the Spreaker app, you can actually listen to my live stream straight, and you can chat me. If you're signed up to an account, you can chat me there. Or you can just listen to the live streams by going to Spreaker.com and then searching up the Perez Show. And if you sign up for an account or have the app signed in, you can chat me like while I'm live streaming, and I can shout you out or talk about whatever you said. Give me ideas on the episode, just kind of talking about whatever we're talking about. Put your input in on what I'm saying. Tell me if you think I should add anything. It's kind of basically a live comment section, because as this is a podcast, I have not transitioned the Perez Show yet to YouTube. I don't know if I will, but I haven't done that yet. So at this point, this is like the chatting way for you to be able to reach me while I'm live streaming and talk to me live while I'm on the air. So that's pretty cool. So you can use Spreaker, but by the time you're listening to this, you're probably not listening to it on Spreaker. The second I publish this one episode, it will be on Spreaker. Within a week or so after publishing this, it will be on, hopefully, Apple Podcasts, Spotify definitely. I'll put it there. It will be on a couple of well-known ones that you guys know by heart or listen on to. That where you're listening to this, it might be on Google Podcasts. I'll keep updating y'all on that, where you can listen to me and how. But right now, the only way you can chat with me during live streams or listen to my live streams is through Spreaker app or Spreaker website, Spreaker.com. Make sure to tune in there for my live streams at 7:30 on Fridays. Not all Fridays. I'll usually mention that in the Tuesday episodes if I'll be doing one that Friday, that week. Alright, thank you for listening to today's episodes. That's the basics. I will have a live stream this Friday at 7:30 Central Time or an Eastern Time. That will be 8:30 p.m. this Friday evening. Make sure to tune in and make sure to go to Spreaker.com. That's the only way you can listen to the live stream. And if you would like to chat me, you can do it there. Make sure to sign in to chat. You can just listen for free. No account required. Make sure to tune in. Thank you for listening. I hope you continue to listen. Make sure to subscribe if you like it and leave a like. Thank you. Have a great day, and Perez out.
With Metro and the best deal in wireless, whatever your goal, however you hustle, you can rule your day. Get 2 lines with 5G access included for just $35 a month per line, period. With taxes and regulatory fees always included, so you know exactly how much you pay every month. All on America's largest 5G network at no extra charge. Plus, at Metro, get the latest 5G phones, like a Samsung Galaxy for less than $100 when you switch. That's the best deal in wireless, so you can take control of your day wherever it takes you. Metro by T-Mobile, empowering you to rule your day. Requires autopay. First month is $40 per line for 2 lines. Samsung A51 requires port from eligible carrier and ID validation limited to 2 per account. Coverage not available in some areas. See metrobytmobile.com or store for details.
T-Mobile has been building America's largest 5G network for this epic 5G moment. Introducing the new iPhone 12 Pro, now at T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Download, upload, and game at 5G speed in more places. Unleash the power of iPhone 12 Pro with T-Mobile.
Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.